Hi, this video is for IT 380. You've just finished the midpoint deliverable, and this is a short video on how to provide feedback. So as you can see here, I have Canvas open. I moved all the feedback stuff down into the next module, into semester week 3, because technically we're doing it on this Monday, Tuesday, which is week 3. And also week 2 is just getting large with all the lectures and the reading and everything. So all the way at the end of week 2, here's your midpoint deliverable due, which happens to be today, later on. Here's where you post it up, and all of you will automatically get assigned 3 random other students to provide feedback for. So here we have the midpoint feedback due Tuesday, 2 days after your deliverable. So you have 48 hours to go review 3 other student projects. Same deadline, time-wise, at the end of Tuesday, 11:59 p.m. So you will be assigned 3 students to provide feedback on, and here are 2 PDFs to help you provide feedback. And then here's just some notes that make sure you just process through the feedback, review 3 students before you move on to the rest of the lecture videos, which I'll put up here. And then we have 2 weeks to finish up the endpoint. So, feedback assignment. So if you click on the PDF, it looks like this. This is just going to give you some direction, some guidance. What's the point of feedback in iterative software development? And you're always going to be working in a team, and the solutions have to be coming from both designers and developers and people who are thinking about the client and the business requirements. And so everyone has to give really good feedback to get a really strong software solution. So this is part of the class where you need to understand how to give constructive feedback to other students. Every project, every deliverable, everything that somebody makes is never going to be perfect. It always needs to be improved on cycles of development. And so it's going to be easy to point stuff out, our flaws, our stuff that can be improved. So the goal is that you want to read through the other students' midpoints, and you want to find some things to talk about. You want to find some things that you think could be improved. And you will be given 3 other students to give feedback on. You're going to write a minimum of 2 paragraphs per feedback. And I say spend the majority of your efforts in the proposed software solution section and the suggested improvements upon competitors sections, because those are the 2 sections of the midpoint that have the most critical thought, that has the most effort that the student put into writing it. And you probably will have their most original thoughts and most of their most interesting content or ideas that they're developing for their own project. So here's some 5 steps when providing constructive feedback. So you can focus on the strengths. So obviously there's going to be ways that need to improve it. You'd be like, I really liked you were doing with this, and I think it can be improved by doing this. Provide criticism about what you feel does not work and can use improvement. So you kind of follow up with how you think you can improve it even still. And reiterate what you feel is strong about the work and what you feel still needs improvement, and then offer suggestions on how your classmate might improve their work, or if they're feeling stuck, how to come up with other ideas, alternative backup plans, other stuff they might consider to help solve their problem. And yes, the more that you offer feedback, the more insightful you will be. So this is all great experience for yourself, and you'll be able to hone better solutions for your software projects the more that you can review others. But what's important is don't feel like you're attacking or being attacked. And majority of students are very sympathetic and do really well with this. But it's important to note that if you're feeling that this is an uncomfortable situation, you might feel like you need to attack people to keep your humility or keep your ego in check, or and if you're in that area of thought mindset, you need to rework what this is all about. Okay, this is a piece of work that's separate from you. Yes, it's personal. You made it. But when someone points out some flaws and how to improve them, they're not attacking you and they're not attacking your work. And it's hard to present your stuff to the public world. And there's the fear of humiliation and like the self-awareness of being in front of the group. But honestly, you're just presenting work in a class. Everyone's going to be really nice because everybody's in the same boat. And the more you do this in school, the much easier it will be to do this out in the real world where it really does count for your job. So that is the assignment. So basically, review 3 other students, 2 paragraphs minimum. Really look at their original thought and give some critical analysis on how to improve it. All right, and so here's the sample. We basically just took the first student submission and we copied and pasted it. So this is the student submission. You can read through it. And the reason that you have to read through it first is because the feedback's not going to make any sense unless you read what their midpoint is all about. Right? So the student posted up her midpoint and we had Jess review it. So here's the sample feedback. And as you can see, we're focusing mostly on the subject, the sub-subject, and the main focus of the overview. We wanted to make sure that you're scoping down well, that you have a clear idea of what you think you're going to teach with your software, and that it's scoped, it's manageable, it's a right nugget of size to focus on. It's not too overwhelming and it's not too small. So this student zoomed down to the immune system, which is still a very large topic, and we're not going to be covering everything about the immune system in just a prototype, but still, it's the correct path. It's the correct biology, anatomy down to immune system. And we will scope it and refine it down further past the midpoint. But this is good. The next area we looked at was the proposed educational software solution to a learning problem. This is your first approach, your first pitch idea of what you think you're going to do. This is full of original content from the students, so this is a great place to provide some feedback. And as you can see down here, this is here. Your proposed EdTech solution is defined well since you explained that the topic is hard to approach for your suggested audience, which is young students, and you actually followed with some suggestions for interactions or gamifications that can help solve that learning problem. So it was a very good proposition. Now, the rest of this actually is focused up on the competing software review and its suggested improvements. So if I come back up here, click here, make sure that the description is well thought out. I can read it and I can completely understand what the competitor is about. That's one area to review. And then this area usually has the most, or the second most, original insight or thought, because you're going to be reviewing your competitors, and hopefully that will give you your own ideas. Oh, I would really like to improve this, this, or this, and that will lead you toward your project goals, lead you toward what you might be designing. And so this area was the next biggest area to review, provide feedback on, followed by their descriptions of their competitors. That'd be the third section, or following that. So anyway, you can see here that your review's insightful in this topic, but we're suggesting that you might need some more brainstorming evaluation. And here, to be more specific, we looked at each of the suggested improvements that the student offered, and we talked a little bit more about how they would offer these improvements. So the student was reviewing other software and then suggesting how to, looking at the flaws of them and how to offer up new interactions or software designs to improve it. And we thought that it was a little ambiguous and the student needed to be a little bit clear because this is going to lead their own ideas. So we tried to give some examples of how to offer suggested improvements based on the flaws that were found in the competing software. So here we have learnability, dynamic gameplay, and immersive gameplay. If I come up here, you can see These are some of the sections, some of the areas that the student was breaking down the competitors on. And so this is why we focused on it as well. And then some lasting impressions we had, some questions that they might think about to help improve their critical analysis of competing projects. So hopefully this all makes sense. And if I come back here, once you drop this Sunday and here, you will be assigned 3 students, which your feedback will be due 2 days later, end of Tuesday. And here's the feedback assignment. You're going to get 3 students to review, minimum of 2 paragraphs per student. And here's a sample of a student midpoint with our feedback that you can review. And with all of this, you should be good to go to give your own feedback on 3 students by end of Tuesday. If not, please contact me, or actually come, we're having lab time Monday and Tuesday, and we could talk more about this. Thank you.